Hello, everybody. It's stream time. How is the audio? I'm going to move the mic a little bit closer to my mouth, but hopefully this is okay. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully nothing's too loud or too quiet. I'm going to just turn it down on my end, just because the music's kind of loud in my ears, but you guys shouldn't hear a difference. Alright, let's go to the art thing program. Goodness. Words escape me immediately. I have just begun to speak. And already words escape me. How are we all doing today? I'm going to draw something. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be something awesome. I have a little thing under my desk where it rolls in and out from underneath the desk. It's like a little, place to put a notepad or whatever. And it is where I keep my drawing tablet. So that weird, rolling noise you just heard, that's what that was. Alright, I Alt-Tab. Make sure everything's working. Everything is working. Alright, we're going to start with Ryu. We're going to draw a Ryu. I think that feels most appropriate. My brightness is actually really low on my screen. Oh, okay, that's too high. The problem with art programs defaulting to a completely white canvas is the fact that you have to pick between everything feeling too dim or getting completely flashbanged for like an hour straight as you draw. I'm gonna try something different. I'm just gonna draw a Ryu, and I'm gonna try to use a different method. I've been trying to experiment a little bit more with how I place lines and stuff. I think I'm in the fuck around and find out arc. Methinks. Actually, I'll draw the rest of his head, and then I'll draw the ear. I forgot the word ear. Oh god. Facial features are so hard to draw. How do people do this? Because I always feel like I make the eyes like either too big or too small. How does that look? I don't like the eyes. I don't like the eyes. Eyes are like surprisingly difficult to draw. Because I'd always do the thing, I'd always just go like, you know, like that. But, you know, it looks scary. Eyes look scary. I think I need to just experiment. Is probably the plan. I like the idea there. Something like that. Something simple. Something kind of straightforward. How does that look? That looks okay, I think. I can live with that. And then I'll correct as required. That's one thing that always messes me up with art. And I've definitely talked about this, I think, on stream before. Is I'm so used to like playing music where if you make a mistake, you're trained to like keep going. Like don't freeze, don't stop, don't draw attention to it. Just like keep going because you can't go back in time to fix it. Whereas with art, you know, you can. It's a slow process, which means that I can't just go like, ah, whatever, who cares? Because, you know, it's in the art. It's obvious in the art that the mistake is there. I feel like I've made his hairline too low. But I guess I can cover that up with a headband anyway, so it doesn't matter. I got Gen 2 Pokemon music going. Although I'm not quite certain. It might be the Gen 4 remasters of the Gen 2 songs. But I think Pokemon music's cool. So my brother's been getting really into Pokemon cards lately. So I've been thinking about Pokemon a lot lately, because they're like, hey bro, like check out this cool like Articuno I have. And I'll look at it, I'll be like, that is a cool Articuno. Shit, you're right. But I always do the Pokemon music, or almost always, for these streams. But as I was doing it today, I was like, I have to specifically do Gen 2. And I don't know why. I'm not like I like Gen 2, but it's not my favorite generation. I'm a Gen 3 guy myself. Is that an old man opinion yet? Liking Gen 3? It's probably been an old man opinion for a while. I just think it's cool. Okay. Let's correct those eyes. Oh, I should make him like a creepypasta character. I should give him like kind of scary eyes. Like that. There's something about this one that looks off, and I don't know what it is. Weezer enjoy art strike? I'm on the art strike. I'm done making art. I'm finished. No. Wait. No, that also looks bad. Okay, I'm just gonna stylize the eyes. You know, I'm gonna use it as a. Well, that's actually, I'm not bad at art. That's actually just my art style that looks bad. How does that look? Something looks off. But I don't know what it is. Like the face is like cartoony. But like, there's something, I don't know, just about this. Whatever, done is better than perfect, I think. The old saying goes. Which color the eyes in? Oh, it's, he doesn't have eyebrows. But now he still looks dumb. Whatever, this is dumb Ryu. This is Ryu's, like, dumb brother. Ken. Am I right? Wait, I can do better than that. I'm gonna be stuck here for the next 30 minutes drawing these eyes over and over again. And every artist who watches this will go like, oh my god, dude, it's not that hard. Just do this and this. Maybe I need to make them bigger. I'm gonna experiment with size. I think I keep drawing them the same size. That's okay. I can live with that. But yeah, there's something about this area up here. Have I made his like forehead too tall? Or maybe it's a lack of eyebrows. Let's draw on eyebrows first, and then we'll worry about everything else. Big fan of the videos and art. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm a big fan of them as well. How the hell does one draw this? Whatever, I'll figure it out. Let's do the... Just do the head. I can do that in one line, I think. Oh god. I have the world's shakiest hand. And then we'll just do like the bangs like this. And then we'll just erase everything else. And then we'll move on. I feel like I keep saying that. I'm like, oh, just do this small detail and then I'm moving on. And I'm gonna, done is better than perfect. And then I go back and correct, and I go back and correct, and I go back and correct. Alright. No, that looks like, oh, that looks so bad. Wait, I'm just gonna go back to what it was before. Just can hold down this. That also looks bad though. Wait. Done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. We'll finish this Ryu and we'll move on to something else. I don't know what it is. Whatever. I'm in my own head. Alright, now we gotta draw. What is he doing? What is Ryu doing? How does the neck work? How does the human neck work? Let's do a Hadouken. He's doing a Hadouken. No, I have to like envision the Hadouken pose. So his shoulders like... Wait. Shoulder... He's like... No, his body will be turned, right? I'm gonna restart. It's over. I give up. I'm restarting. Okay, I should decide what he's doing before I draw it. He's gonna be doing a Hadouken. I gotta pull up a picture of a Hadouken. Hadouken. Mexa Plays, welcome to the stream. Alright. Ryu Hadouken image. I'm gonna pull this up. Just like move it over to my second monitor. Alright, we're starting over. Okay. So we'll start with just kind of a really basic outline of Ryu's body. So that's like his head, right? Really crappy, quick head. And his head is kind of angled down, so his jaw would be kind of like that-ish. Draw Alex? I'll draw Alex for sure. After Ryu, your wish is granted. And then his right arm is on top, and it's kind of coming out from like right behind his head. Like his head is kind of tucked in. So this is like his right arm. And then it goes out. And that's like his forearm. And he's doing the Hadouken hands. The iconic Hadouken hands. And if you're doing that, your thumb is on, both thumbs are on the outside. Yeah. So I'll draw like this hand. And then like his thumb is like that, like that. That's really good. And then the other arm is kind of doing the same thing, but in reverse. So his shoulder's like here. Yeah, that shoulder's a little bit offset. And then right arm comes out like this. Or actually, this should be, because it's something like that. Although no, I've drawn. Okay, no, the yeah, and then his arm. I think I need to re-angle this, because like the forearm would be basically tucked, kind of similarly, because the top arm is straight, but the bottom arm's kind of angled, so it'll be a little bit more like this, and then the kind of connect at the wrist, give or take. Ryu's broken his arm. Sure is boring around here, my boy. This piece is what all true warriors strive for. I just wonder what Ganon's up to. And then the guy shows up, and he goes, "It is written." Or no, Ganon has invaded the island of Korradar. Something like that. Okay, I think I've made his head too big and his arms too small. But you know, one day the sun will explode. And then who will care? Yeah. Alright, and then this is his torso. Oh no, wait, I should add a more like defined area between his neck and his body, right? So his neck kind of comes down like this, because his head's kind of tucked. It's kind of tucked. He's like vaguely defensively posturing. So it's kind of like that. And then I'll draw the rest of his body coming down like this. Love seeing people pursue the arts. Thank you. I'm pursuing them very slowly though. They're getting away from me. They're escaping. And then I guess I should draw like this. Okay, and then I'm gonna draw his legs. So the front leg is kind of coming out like that. His knee comes down. So this guy's got a little bit of a front stance going on. And then leg comes up. Then thigh comes up as well. I can, yeah, something like that. And then his back leg is a little bit straighter, almost entirely straight, I think. Right, and his ankle kind of comes out, and it's off the ground, and then his toe touches the ground. Like so. Can you draw Teto throwing a subscribe button? It would be my honor. I gotta keep in mind, I gotta keep a request queue up here. That's how you spell Q, right? That's one of those words I can never spell. So Alex, then Teto. I gotta keep that in mind. That can be done. Kasane Teto from Utao. Utao? I always say Utao, but then I met somebody who said Utao, and I wonder if that's maybe more correct. I don't know. Ooh, I fucked this guy's body up. Whatever. You know, one day the universe will explode. One day the sun will explode. And nobody will know that I fucked up Ryu's proportions. I think I also need to adjust his jaw a little bit. I think it needs to come out from here. Okay, this is like an okay starting point, and then I'm just gonna add details. So we'll start with his nose, or should we start with his eyes? I'm gonna start with his eyes. Pronounced Uta-u. I've never heard that before. Uta-u? I've always heard Uta. Uta-u. Damn. That's actually crazy. That's never one of the ones I would have guessed. I'm a Defoco truther, by the way. I'm a what's her government name? Uta Utane or something? That's my goat. I'll fix his eyes in a moment. No, I'll fix them now. Is that better? Now that feels too small. That's okay. I can live with that. Done is better than perfect. Draw Sean with a comically large basketball. Alright, that's going in the queue. Sean with basketball. Going in the queue. You are going in the queue. No. Draw the headband. I think his face is too far forward. Like, the distance between his ear and the rest of his face feels way too big. Should I bring the jaw forward or should I bring the face back? I'll bring the face back, actually. I'll do like that, and then I'll adjust as required. So I'll put his mouth like here, put his eye like, you know, here, just to do kind of a crappy one. Nose here. Although maybe it should be more like, you know. Remy partaking in the national French pastime of smoking 20 cigarettes at once. Remy 20 cigarettes. Move the ear forward. Okay, okay. Move the ear forward. I'm gonna undo my edit. I trust chat with my life. I could be doing like any drawing and somebody in the chat would go like, maybe this drawing would be better if you like gave me your credit card information. And I just go like, yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right. Yeah, that does look better. And then here's the headband. And then I'm going to draw his hair, so I'm going to erase his skull. And then his hair would probably start here-ish. You know, kind of cover up his neck a little bit. Give him like cool Dragon Ball hair. Although I should probably have the headband pull his hair inwards a little bit, right? Because if it's tied around his head, it would pull the back of his hair in. So it'd be more like, you know. More like that, right? Something like that. All right. And then actually, I should have his hair like flying back from the powerful force created by the Hadouken. I like how in lore, like the Hadouken's like this like crazy thing that requires like martial arts mastery, and it's like, you know, throwing like a punch, like it's being punched from a distance, like by your opponent's like life energy. You guys know the Hadouken is canonically like body temperature, like it just feels like getting punched, temperature and all. Which I don't know why the Hadouken being body temperature makes me kind of uncomfortable. Yeah, should actually add more hair spikes up here to indicate just how much his hair is being forced back from the Hadouken. Sure, with the ear placement, same height as the nose. Interesting. So it would be like, I mean, would that be like to the bridge of the nose, or to like the tip of the nose? Recreate the painting of the roof of the Sistine Chapel. That's going in the queue. That's the creation of Man one, right? That's the that's like the god reaching to Adam and Adam like kind of not really meeting him. Sistine Chapel. Okay, now I gotta draw the rest of it. So I'll keep these lines here, or I might thin them out a little bit, because like I want to indicate that like the cloth is like kind of draped, the cloth of the gi is draped over his shoulder. So I'll keep like that, something like that, and then I'll draw like the tearing of the outfit, tearing of the gi. Sistine Chapel painting is a lot of things. You're right. You're right. It's a lot of things, which is cool. Shout out to the Sistine Chapel. Was that Michelangelo? See the Sistine Chapel guy? I think so, right? Oh, it's actually 16 chapels, of course. Okay. And then I'll draw like the V of his gi kind of down here. Oops, I misplaced the line. Something like that. And then I'm going to also draw the back of the gi kind of snapping out. You know, because it's like, it's designed to snap. That's one of the really cool things, is you see guys who are like really good at like karate and you can hear their gi snap. It's awesome. How would it snap though with a Hadouken? How does it snap in Third Strike? I'm just gonna do like, oh, because I guess it would be tucked in by the belt, so it couldn't snap out too much, because it would be ultimately pulled back in by this. T-shirt Ryu. Yeah, he just likes wearing t-shirts, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Aggressive Makoto eating a burger. Makoto burger. And then the belt kind of snaps back as well from the Hadouken. It's kind of cool. And then the pants, same idea, is they'd kind of do like this. In my head, in my Ryu Karate Gi headcanon, they do something like this. I'll just kind of do that. And then I'll just like clean this up a little bit. I'll do like that. And then here comes the actual Hadouken itself. Alright, and the force of it is like so powerful. He gets like a cool Dragon Ball aura. He gets like... Yeah. Yeah. There you go. There's my Ryu. Throwing a Hadouken. Oh, I gotta color stuff in. Just gonna do this, and I'll do this. And then that'll be the Ryu. Then I have to get to the Q. I have to get to my incredible backlog of commissions. You know, really, I think that you should be paying me $500 per art. So when I draw, like, Makoto eating a burger, I'm owed, like, $1 million, I think. By my chat. The thumbs are backwards? Are they backwards? Would they not be on the... Would they not be on the far side of the hand? No, they wouldn't be. I'm fucking stupid. Yeah, you're correct. You are correct. Yeah. Better. There you go. There's Ryu from Street Fighter. Alright, first drawing down. Alex. Alright, I gotta pull up a picture of Alex. 1 second. Alex from Street Fighter, what are you doing in my car? Alright, here's a good Alex. Alright. So Alex, he's an angry guy. So he's gonna be kind of angry in this one. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give him a big square head. He's an angry guy. Look at how mad he is. He's pissed off. And he's not in Street Fighter 6 yet. He's got little triangles under his eyes, right? And his headband is like pretty big, I think. And he's got like the long hair. And then he's got like a kind of a ponytail coming out back. I don't remember if it's like specifically a ponytail, but I think it is, right? It's like kind of a messy ponytail. Like he's got like it tied back right at like the base of his head, and it kind of flares out, I think. Right, it's like there's his hair, and then it kind of all comes. It's like a hair tie, like, or no, that would be. I guess the hair tie would have to be right under the headband, right? So it kind of. It kind of comes down like this. And I'll have some spilling over the, and then it would come out here, and kind of be tied like that, and it would go like. Or how does gravity work? Wait. More like that, I think. That's his hair tie. Yeah. And then I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit. I'll draw little hair line things to indicate hair physics, or whatever the kids are calling them these days. And then I'll color these in like a little bit. Just to kind of give it some contrast. You know, replace the red with the black. Like those cool, like, Superman comics they do where it's all, like, red and blue and black and white. It's cool. And then Alex is gonna be angrily holding a can of Coke. Give him a big neck. Give him a big, powerful alpha male neck. Is that like a do you think there are guys out there who like my neck? You like, you know how insults were really on like the cantle tilt thing for a while? Do you think they're like, my neck is too small in circumference? It's over. Enjoy her mangaka arc? That would be awesome. Yeah, you guys aren't ready for my my manga I make. I made a funny comic. I was in my Discord with my buddies, and I made a comic about a goblin who is walking through his magical goblin forest, and then he steps into a portal and gets teleported to Canada, and has to find a job at Walmart as a Walmart greeter. So he gets teleported to Canada, and then is like, I need to get a job, and he goes and works at Walmart. And I didn't get any further than that. But the gimmick of the comic was that, like, he's a goblin, so he's like a little goblin, but nobody like notices that. You know, like, nobody goes like, whoa, this guy like is like green and has like fangs and like big pointy ears. They just treat him like a normal guy. You know, it's like a really beautiful like commentary on how like we're all the same or something. And then he's gonna, this is his arm. He's gonna hold the what did I say? Can of Diet Coke. He's gonna hold the Diet Coke. Which province? I do not remember. It was somewhere funny. It was like a made-up province, not like an actual made-up province, like one that doesn't exist, but like a province that like you meet somebody from there and you go like, oh, okay, I didn't know people lived there. You know, like what's one of those? Prince Edward Island. I love Prince Edward Island. I have some buddies who are from Prince Edward Island, but it's also not a real place. Most normal looking dude in Saskatoon. Yeah. This guy's one of those carpetbagging Easterners that Stan Rogers always talked about. And then here's one side of the Diet Coke. Or actually, I should draw it crumpling, shouldn't I? So it should be more like that. And then here's like the hole, and here's like a little pop tab, and there's Diet Coke spraying everywhere. Drive around PEI circumference in 20 minutes? Yeah, when I was younger, I think we did it. I don't think we drove around the circumference, but I think just like we didn't even intend to go around the whole island, but we did. And we like accidentally went from one side of the island to the other in like, I think an hour. So you could definitely, if you weren't stopping and were making like a concerted effort to make it from one side of the island, you could definitely circumnavigate it really quickly, which is interesting because most of Canada is so huge. Even smaller provinces like Nova Scotia are pretty big. And a lot of it is like difficult to get through. I had to get from Sydney, Nova Scotia, and Cape Breton to Halifax one time, or was it the other way around? No, pardon me. I had to get from No, where did I have to go? I had to get from Halifax to Inverness. And it was like a nightmare series of buses, and then getting picked up at the end of the road. I got to Waikokama. I'm still not quite certain how to pronounce it. I'm not going to worry about drawing accurate anything approaching accurate Musqueam. I'm just going to give him. I'm going to give him something easier for me to draw and quicker. Yeah, it was. I got to Waikokama, however one goes about saying that name. I remember mispronouncing it to the bus driver. He was like, "Where are you going by?" And I was like, Waikokama? And he was like, "That's not what it's called." Immediately clocked me as somebody not from the area. You know, I'm gonna get lazy. Watch this. How does the bicep connect to the chest? Close enough. Whatever. Done is better than perfect. And then gotta give him one of these. No, I'm not gonna give him nipples. Whatever. All right. There's. Oh, that looks really bad. I'm just gonna erase this. I'm just gonna erase all of this. It makes it look worse. I think it's cuter if we do away with this. Oh wait, he has these, doesn't he? I can draw a triangle. I don't need to do the scribbly lines. Something like that. He's got these, and I gotta color these in for consistency's sake. There we go. There. But now I feel like I need to draw. We'll just keep it really simple. There you go. There's Alex crushing a can of Diet Coke in rage, or in like victory. You never know. Oh, I should erase this, shouldn't I? There you go. There's Alex. Okay. What was the other one? It was Teto throwing a subscribe button. When you figure out how shoulders work, that's the thing. Is I need to do the thing. And Line of Action, what is it? Lineofaction.com, where it just like every however long interval you set, I'd probably have to set it to 10 minutes, but like every 10 minutes it shows you a new picture of a shirtless dude. So you can like draw musculature and get used to not just drawing it, but drawing it like quickly. I think I need to do that. I need to just do that. I've been struggling lately to find time to draw, is why I'm not posting like 300 Gokus on the community tab anymore, is I don't quite have as much time as I'd like to lately, but I think I need to do that. And that's one of the reasons I like doing the art streams, because it forces me to, even just for an hour, sit down and draw, which I think is nice. And I think I do get better. I think that like there's marginal improvement. Okay, Teto. It was Teto throwing a subscribe button. Where's their space? Space over here. So I think the implication in that request was that she would be throwing it like a Hadouken. But I think it would be funner to just have her throwing it. So I'm gonna pull up a picture of somebody throwing something, like shot put. How do they throw shot put? I think that'd be funny to have Teto shot put. Shot put's a crazy sport. It is cool. I do like sports that are just like really simple. You know, hockey and baseball and whatever with all of their rules, that's cool. But I do love the simplicity of throw the heavy thing. Okay. This is a pretty good reference image. Jar throwing like that one picture of Eminem. Oh, that's so much better. That's so much better. You ate. Okay, 1 second. That's so much better. That's so much better. Oh my god, yes. Yes, yes. Okay. Wait. Please. Please let me open the image. Okay. There's my picture of Eminem. Alright. I'm gonna have to draw a hand. Clavicles too? Yeah, I used to, there was a point where I started drawing. I found it really simple, like just doing like this line really helped me like orient the bodies of characters I was drawing. I drew a Goku like a month ago that I was really proud of, and half of the reason I was able to like orient the body in a way that looked halfway decent was I felt like because I had drawn that collarbone line. Yeah, we'll see how I've drawn Teto a couple of times before. That was actually one of the first things I tried to draw properly. Was you know, you always hear like use references, and I have a Teto Nendoroid. Nendoroid? How do you say it? I think it's Nendoroid, right? I have it on my desk, and I was like, I'm gonna draw this Nendoroid, and it looked horrible. But I could probably do better now. Do you think they asked him to do that pose where he just did it? I don't know. I think they probably asked him to like do a pose like you're spitting like a cool lyric, like do a pose like you're making orange rhyme with banana. And I think he hit one of those, because that is, to me, like that hand position he does, it does look like a musician vocalizing hand, you know, when you're like in the zone musically but you don't need to use your hands. Musical gesticulation, some might go as far as to say. Oh wait, how does Eminem's jaw work? So if this is his ear, let's say, right? That kind of comes down and meets like sorry, I gotta move stuff around on my screen. 1 second. Move, where was I? There it was. And moves kind of like that-ish. Does Venom have kind of high cheekbones? I don't think I've ever noticed that before. He's got kind of a nice cheekbone on the far side of this image. Like the side closer to his hand. Looks good. Something like that. And then there's his neck. And then this hand is just like chilling there. And the other hand is going to be where I run into issues. And I guess the hand goes into the pocket, so I'll do something like that. Maybe I should do... Because the bicep looks too long and the forearm looks too short. So I'll kind of adjust like that. And this is like the pants. Okay, now I gotta draw the hand. Oh, fuck me. Alright. Oh, God. Free me from this nothing I become. I was hanging out with Buddy's house the other day. Was it for Halloween? I don't remember. It may have been for Halloween. And yeah, this is Pokemon music. It's awesome, right? In fact, how much time is left on this? Because sometimes YouTube will finish playing Pokemon music. I'm gonna start a different video. Because sometimes YouTube will start playing copyrighted stuff on the autoplay. And I don't want this video to get region locked. What was I saying? Something cool. It's gone, whatever. Oh yeah, I was at my buddy's house. And I think it was for Halloween. And he put on this video. Like, we were doing the thing where you just put dumb videos on the TV for YouTube. Dumb YouTube videos on the TV. However one goes about phrasing that. Is this still Teto? This is going to be Teto. I'm going to build Teto on the Eminem base. And at one point he puts on this video that none of us had seen. It just kind of got like randomly recommended. Or no, his hand is doing the opposite thing. It got randomly recommended, and it was like all of the forms of Goku. And it was in Spanish. It was very cool. And it had Wake Me Up Inside playing in the background. And it would show like every random version of Goku. So like this episode where Goku wears a hat, that's Hat Goku. This episode where like Goku wears a suit, that's like formal Goku. And we stopped around the time we got to Cell Saga Goku. But in the thumbnail there was like weird like Super Saiyan 100 forms or whatever, you know? Eminem is the foundation for Teto, exactly. Eminem walked so Teto could run. Weezer Enjoyer old man opinion is I really like Teto's Utao voice bank. Utau? I really like her old voice bank. I like the Synth V one quite a bit as well, but I think that there's a very unique charm to the old voice bank that gets lost a little bit. You made it an hour into that video? I gotta finish it. I think I have to finish it. Would I rather have $1 or $2? Double it and give it to the next guy. And then this is like Eminem's finger. That always what happened to him when Eminem goes even further beyond. Yeah. Do you think Eminem is like a cameo? Do you think I could pay him to do like the, what you're seeing right now is my normal state, and this is what we call a Super Saiyan, and this is a Saiyan that has ascended past the limits of a Super Saiyan. So you changed your hair. Who cares? Well, you're gonna love this next part. And then Piccolo shows up and he's like, is it possible? Can he have ascended past an ascended Saiyan? And then King Kai goes, no, Goku. That's what King Kai sounds like. No, Goku. You'll waste all the time you have left on Earth. And then Goku goes, and this is to go even further beyond. And it's like the coolest thing ever. Do you think we could pay Eminem to do that? Do you think Eminem likes Dragon Ball? I think Eminem likes Dragon Ball. Okay, there's the hand. That's as good as you're getting. It looks less like he's throwing something and more like he's meant to be holding something, but you know. Life's a bitch and then you die. I should probably also have this going a little bit more like that. And then like that's his forearm. No, that's his forearm. Whatever. We're getting close enough. Maybe I should bring the face lower. This song goes hard. What song is this? Driftville City, that's it. That dun 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 is so good. This song is good. Oh my god. Love that beat. It's awesome. It's good. Alright, now I gotta draw the hair. I think I remember what Tedo's hair looks like, but I'm gonna pull up a picture just to be safe. It's a cool hair design. Canonically 31 years old, by the way. Is very funny to think about. Actually, I should put that more towards the center of her head, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. You know, back in my day, all these kids talking about how much they love Tedo because they don't want to seem like they're mainstream and they like Miku. Back in my day, that was Gumi. That was who you said you liked. If you didn't want to be like a normie, if you wanted to have like a quirky pick, it was Gumi. And the kids don't even know who that is. They're erasing her from the history books. Deco remade Mosaic Roll. Mosaic Roll? Is it Mosaic Roll or Mosaic Rule? I forget now. But with Miku instead of Gumi, and it made me want to scream and throw up. Weezer, enjoy your Vocaloid opinions, by the way. I know that's what you guys come here for. I know this is a Vocaloid channel. I know you guys come here to discuss Vocaloid. I should move that arm in, I think. I'm going to start a second channel. It's going to be called Weezer, enjoy your Vocaloid. I'm going to upload all the Vocaloid music I make. Talk about Vocaloid. Miku V6 is coming out. Did you guys hear? They're finally releasing her from hell. She was supposed to come out like I think beginning of this year, and that didn't happen. And now she's meant to come out I think early next year. She sounds great. I think, assuming that that's what we've been hearing on. Oh God, why is her neck so big? Assuming that's what we heard on like Rookie and stuff, I'm excited. Ruko, that's a good one. That's a really good one. That's a based pick. There's some good ones. What I like about Utao, which I'm now insecure about my pronunciation of, is the fact that like everybody can make one. Didn't they make a queso Utao or something? Like the streamer? I should make this bigger one. I should. Yeah, that's really funny. That's so funny to me. Is like making a streamer into a vocal. Should I make an Utao? That'd be kind of cool. Weezer shirt Utao. I'm actually I'll be lazy. I'm gonna be lazy. She's built like Elon. I've drawn her like with the big like Elon like build. Yes. Oh, and I gotta give her the weird like arm warmer things. I forgot about those. Oh yeah. I forget what they called that, but I know exactly what you're talking about because I remember that was like a thing somebody did during COVID where made like SpongeBob and Squidward and and like Freddy Fazbear and stuff like voice banks. It was awesome. Built like a Womp from Mario 64. Yeah, she's full of hatred. Is why she's built like that. She needs to accommodate all the hatred. Okay, what is she throwing? A subscribe button. I should fix the eyes. She's not looking at you. She needs to be looking at you for this to be threatening. Okay, she's throwing a subscribe button. So the subscribe button's got to be like really big. I'll just erase everything behind it. Speaking of subscribe, you know, this is a YouTube channel on youtube.com. Perhaps if you're not already subscribed, now would be a solid opportunity for you to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. What else? What is it? Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. There's probably other ones. There's probably other things to say. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know what they are. Sub. I have to tilt my head at an angle to write this. Subscribe. 1 second. Or don't subscribe. You can also unsubscribe. That would actually be cool as fuck. If I was like, comment, subscribe, and you were like, I'm going to unsubscribe. That'd be fucking awesome. That would have aura. And then she's like throwing it. It's got like motion lines. There you go. There's Teto. Arg. Yeah, I agree. Alright, there's Teto. Sean with basketball. And I believe it was specified to be a comically large basketball. So it's going to be like a spirit bomb. I gotta pull up a picture of Sean. I don't know Sean well enough off the top of my head. Sean 3S. I always forget he has a cool earring. That's why he's the best Shoto. That's why he's the coolest guy, because he has a cool earring. I should actually know. I'm just gonna... Nah, whatever. Whatever. It's done. I'm drunk Sean. Okay. And I should also pull up a picture of the spirit bomb. Lend me your energy. Can you guys lend me your energy? You know, guys, like Goku asking for your energy to defeat Majin Buu, can you guys lend me your energy by like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell? Oh man, if I was a Dragon Ball YouTuber, would that be sick? That'll be the next channel after the Weezer Enjoy Vocaloid channel. It'll be Weezer Enjoy Dragon Ball What Ifs, and the whole channel would just be Trapped and Betrayed stories. Why am I doing this? I'm gonna just draw. Start simple. I'm gonna try to just do this. I'm just gonna do dumb shit. Like I'm making this. Oops. How do I make him look more happy? That makes him look more sad. And that makes him look upset. Sean's a chill guy. What if Goku was trapped and betrayed in the time chamber for 20 minutes? That'd be crazy. Because 20 minutes in the time chamber would be like a couple of hours, you know? What if Weezer Enjoy Your Third Strike was trapped and betrayed in the time chamber? So, have you guys heard of the weird, like, alpha male Bali time chamber? It's this thing in Bali, the island that all the kids are talking about, and it's just like it's actually really funny. It bills itself literally as like, this is like the real life time chamber from Dragon Ball Z. You can come here to work out and network with other like-minded alpha males. Men only. Which is really funny to me. For a couple of reasons. But just the idea of like all these dudes hanging out, like working out, being like, we're so alpha, we're such alpha males, is really funny to me. Or maybe his arms should be... Ooh, crap. Maybe his arms should be even more angled. Yeah, 1 second. Let me redo that. Because his arms have to be like straight up. It's really cool how the Spirit Bomb has worked once. And every other time it didn't. It didn't work against Vegeta. It didn't work against Frieza. It didn't work against Jiren. Who else has he used it on? I think that's it, right? Like canonically, not counting the movies, because it works in the movies. But it is funny that it's like, you know, when you think of really strong attacks from Dragon Ball, that's one of the first ones that my mind goes to is the Spirit Bomb. But it's 1 for 4. But that one time it did work, peak fiction. By the way. I read the manga rather than watching the anime, so I for a long time called it the Genki Dama. So I'd like show up to school, and me and my buddies would like talk about Dragon Ball, and I'd be like, "Yeah, dude, I like when they use when Kuririn uses the Genki Dama against Vegeta," and they go like, "The who uses the fucking what?" That's my Spirit Bomb story. I've definitely told that, I think, on this channel before. How do hands work? Fuck, wait. Those are his hands. My favorite weird manga thing is when they changed Vegito. So for anybody who doesn't know, Vegito, a fusion of Goku and Vegeta. You may notice that neither of those characters have To in their name. And it's because in Japanese, Goku's Saiyan name is Kakaroto. So, as a result, it makes sense in Japanese but not in English, where he's Kakarot. So, the manga decided to translate it as Vegerot from Vegeta and Kakarot. But of course, Vegerot sounds like an illness or something. It sounds like it wouldn't be good for you. Fun fact. Vegerot. Some people will still say Vegerot. Some people still say Vegerot. I gotta draw his cool earring. If you draw Sean without the cool earring, I come to your house and beat the crap out of you. Then his hair like changes color kind of right at his right like the top of his hairline. Kind of does that. Gogeta is the other one. Gogeta is the other one. Gogeta is when they use the earrings. That's Vegeta. When they use the dance, that's Gogeta. Always like the idea of Vegito being an entirely new name. Yeah, I do also think that's like real as well. Is because for a long time I didn't know where the toe came from, and I was like, oh yeah, this is just a new name. Because Gogeta is kind of the most obvious, like slamming the names together. Although in the here's your fun fact. Another fun fact about Dragon Ball is Gogeta was meant, or Vegeta rather, was going to be called Gogeta originally. That's what Toriyama was originally going to call him. But then they made the Fusion Reborn movie, which comes out before the part where they fuse in the Buu Saga. So they ended up having to change it because Toei Animation beat Toriyama to the Gogeta name. So he ended up having to go with Vegeta. Yeah, I'm a Gogeta guy personally, but I think they're both cool. I think I just like the Fusion Dance outfit. I like the cool little jacket, or the cool little vest, and like the puffy pants. I'm a big fan of that. When I was younger, a kid tried to convince me that you could like fuse Pokemon together. That like if you beat, what was the relevant game? I think it was Gen 4. If you beat Diamond and Pearl, that you could unlock like a Pokemon fuser, which would let you slam Pokemon together into like new Pokemon. And I believed them. I think everybody who like played Pokemon in elementary school has at least a couple of Pokemon misinformation stories about somebody telling them about Pokemon that was just like factually and patently incorrect. The classic one is Mew under the truck, but you know I I'm too young for that one. I wasn't in school at the time those games were relevant. Okay, there's Sean. Oh, I gotta move this down. 1 second, I gotta move him down. I don't have space for the ball. I don't have space for the giant basketball. And then I don't remember what the lines on a basketball look like. Basketball. Okay. Are the lines there for aesthetic? I'm assuming they fulfill some sort of practical purpose. I guess it would probably just be to hold the different pieces of leather together, correct? No? I don't know. I don't know. Somebody more informed on basketball than me, tell me. I'm kind of sports illiterate. My whole family is very, like, sports people. And I'm like, I know like nothing about it. I kind of just nod along. I know enough about sports to like when people try to talk to me about sports, I go like, you see the game? And I go like, no. And they go like, well, this guy did this. And I'm like, I'm trying to gauge their reaction, like how I should respond. There's the basketball. There's Sean with his cool basketball. What was the next drawing? The Sistine Chapel. All right. We're gonna do the creation of man. A creation of. Oh, is it called the creation of Adam? What's it called? Creation of Adam is what it's called, by Michelangelo. The turtle. Am I right? Am I right, gamers? Am I right? Like, comment, subscribe for that kind of quality joke. All right. Creation of Adam. Okay, so Adam is over here. Sean's so auraful. I agree. Thank you. I love aura. Auraful. I'm stealing that. That word's gonna be stuck in my head. No Remy with 20 cigarettes. Oh, did I miss that one? Oh, did I not write it down? What happened to it? One second. I gotta add that one. I'll do that one afterwards. I'll put that one here. I don't know where that went. I guess when I was like undoing, I think I accidentally undid that. Okay. And then Adam, he's got a neck, as many people do. He's got like, you know, neck's longer than that. He's kind of got his shoulder here. Oh my god. Wait. Hold up. Wait. So his neck. He's got like his thing. That's his torso. I think I'm making his torso too wide. And then I think I've made him too wide. Whatever. You know, life is just like that. And then he's like he's kind of relaxing. He's kind of like laying down. He's chill. He's chill as hell. Because he doesn't know yet. You know, he hasn't eaten the apple yet. Although in the Bible it never specifies it's an apple. It's just a fruit. Which I think is pretty common knowledge at this point, but I don't know. And that's his leg. And that's like the rest of him. And then his other leg kind of comes up like this. He's kind of lounging. I guess I should bring this down to hide his foot. And then that's like his knee. And then his leg kind of comes out like this. And he's got a foot. I'm not gonna actually draw like a detailed foot because I don't know how to. And then I think we gotta censor this. Just, you know, to keep things PG-13. Gotta draw a little Ryu there. And then Adam's, he's lounging, right? He's not a care in the world. This guy just named all the animals. He named all of them. Every single one of them. And now he's relaxing. Eyes remind me of the Street Fighter Alpha art. Is that intentional? No, it's not. It's just like kind of a generic cartoon eye that I draw. Because I can't draw like anything more detailed. And then Adam, right, is reaching out. His arm. But he's sloppy with it. Because he truly doesn't understand how good he has it in this garden he's in, you know? He doesn't get it. So he's kind of just reaching out halfway. He's like, yeah, okay, God, whatever. That's his hand. Yeah, God, whatever, God, you know, whatever. Yeah, sure, I won't eat the tree or whatever. Until my babe, my wife, tells me to eat it. Yeah, I went to Sunday school growing up. I know how the Bible goes. I know about this niche thing called the Bible. Adam looks bored. Adam was kind of bored. He's kind of got like one of the... He's got this going on. Oh, I gotta draw his hair. Got kind of a horrible haircut going on. Just absolutely atrocious. For this alone, I think he should have been kicked out of the garden. But, you know, alright, so there's Adam, and then I'll draw, like, crappy musculature. Michelangelo draws his belly button. I'll draw his belly button. Okay, so there's Adam. Yeah, and then I was always under the impression that drawing God was a sin, but I guess Michelangelo, it's an exception, so, you know, who am I to argue with the greats? I do like the detail that in this this art, God is drawing clothing, because he's like, you know, or God is wearing clothing rather, because he's like, you know, enlightened. He like knows, and Adam doesn't know. I think I've once again made his body too big. Shrink him down. No peener? No, not today. I think I put him too close though, because if he outstretches his arm, they'd be able to reach, and Adam would be rewarded for half-assing his way through, you know, this whole sequence. So I gotta put him further away. Adam will not meet this guy. So God's got like one arm kind of doing this. And the other arm is reaching, and he's full extension. Because he wants to make this work. He wants to meet Adam where he is, but Adam refuses. Not like he's too far away, whatever. I think I've made him look too surprised. I'm a big fan of like kind of the more of an old school view of art, but the idea, you know, that I can't speak for how much this was a thing in visual art, but I remember when I was researching like traditional music, like Beethoven, or maybe not Beethoven, but like Bach and stuff, where like the whole point of the art form, it was viewed that any form of art existed to bring glory to God, right? And like we were meant to, in that music, for example, was only being created to kind of showcase, you know, the beauty that was possible in God's creation, which I thought was really nice. I think that's a really nice little way to think about art. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. And God's got clothing on. His hands are adorable. Thank you. They're good, right? They're really good. Do you think they're really good? He's got an arm back here. And then his body's kind of doing an interesting, like, lean. This guy's trying to get as much extension as he can. I say this guy. God. I feel like I maybe shouldn't be so flippant. I don't know. And then there's his leg. And then God's got clothing on. God's wearing like a robe. There's like a toga. I can't really tell. This is kind of a low-res image I have pulled up. 1 second. What is he wearing? Oh yeah, that's just like a robe. Just kind of draw, you know, the robe flowing. Wait. Oops. Wait. Wait. Oh, wait. I think I messed up. Wait. Okay. Hold up. Oops, that's the wrong button. You're without a stylus and you've been drawing with your finger? That's awesome. Because, like, drawing traditionally, like what you also mentioned, like, that's something I get. If I didn't have access to the stylus, that's what I would be doing. But drawing with your finger is crazy. But I know people who draw really well with their finger or with, like, a mouse. But I think I would, like, scream if I tried to draw anything, like, on any kind of meaningful level. Alright, there we go. There's the creation of man. Or of creation of Adam. Sistine Chapel. You guys can screenshot that. Alright, now I have to draw Remy smoking cigarettes. I think I have an idea for how I want to do this one. Look at all these cigarettes this guy's smoking. Drawing with your finger is doable? Yeah, I guess that would make sense, because you'd have to zoom in quite a bit. Just because you're using the vast giantness of your finger. It's interesting, you know? Like, you'd think that drawing with your finger would maybe be easier because there's less, like, disconnect, like physical disconnect between yourself and what you're drawing. But no, yeah, I always find it really frustrating. Not that I'm much better with drawing, like, with a stylus, but... So these are all cigarettes. I don't really know what cigarettes look like. I don't smoke, so I've kind of just seen them, like, from afar. But I'm just gonna kind of guess. And then I think they've got this weird little, like, band thing here, right? Along the side. Sure is a lot of cigarettes. It's a lot of cigarettes. And then what does cigarette smoke look like? It's like, you know... These almost look more like gun barrels than they do cigarettes. And then, so that's his mouth. And then Remy's got the little Omega thing, right? Does he wear gloves? I don't think so. And then we'll go blue just for the Omega. Although it might not be blue on his outfit. I don't remember. This guy loves cigarettes. Which is bad. Don't smoke, kids. I know that like a solid chunk of my YouTube audience is teenagers. Who, and of course, they all worship me like a god. So don't smoke, kids. So there's my Remy. This is maybe the funniest one yet. And then what was the last one? It was Makoto eating a burger. Makoto burger. We all start somewhere. Yeah, we all do start somewhere. And that's kind of what I figure is if I just keep drawing things over and over and over again, I'll get better eventually. Yeah, thank you. I try to progress. I try to do better. Alright, what if I try Makoto eating a burger? Makoto's gonna be pissed. She's really angry at the burger. More pissed. She's so fucking mad. She's so fucking pissed off. That's her rage. That's her rage, clenching of the teeth. Maybe I should do more like... She's so pissed off. Maybe I should do like a closed lip rage. She looks like Jim Carrey's fucking Grinch. She's so fucking mad. Or no, the... Look at how pissed off she is. She's got a weird curl at the top of her hair, right? Just like that. Look at how mad she is. I'm just gonna color in. Fuck it, whatever. Whatever. You only live once. YOLO. Who else remember YOLO? Who else remember this nostalgic turn of phrase? Hi, I'm Chris Hansen from Dateline NBC, and we're back with another investigation into computer predators. Men who go online to meet up with young teenagers. Hey, you know, I knew what this was, man. I knew that it was like a sting, man, like Chris. Like I knew, like, dude, like it was like a fake like thing, you know. Like I just wanted to test it. Oh, you just wanted to test it? Yeah, I just wanted to test it. Like I knew what it was, Chris. I knew what it was. I knew what this was. Interesting, because here in the chat log, you say. Sorry, I can't think of anything funny. That's all I got. That's the end of that skit. That's the end of that skit. That's all I got. She's so pissed. She's so mad. Alright. And then she's got a burger. She's gonna be holding the burger like really, really angrily. Excellent bit. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I got. That's all I got. I was trying to think of a way to continue it, but I think it hit the point where all the epic art red pills I will take along my journey, there's too many. I think I will choke on them. always are filled with guffaws after that piece of performance. Thank you, thank you. I'll be starting a second channel soon called Weezer Enjoyer Improv Comedy, and it'll all be stuff like that. Oh wow, that's fucked up. Wait, that's not what hands look like. Was it this stream where I talked about the wanting to become a polarizing internet figure? Or was that the Third Strike stream? Or no, that was I was recording today. I was recording for the next video, and I talked about how I'd like my goal is to become a niche yet polarizing internet figure, like a DSP. And these all of these second channels, the Weezer Enjoyer Vocaloid channel, the what was the other one, the Dragon Ball What If channel, and now the Improv Comedy channel are all part of my my plan. Yeah, I think like the torso being compared to the limbs is always something that messes me up. I never quite know how broad to make people's shoulders. And the Makoto has like a real gi, right? Like she has like sleeves and shit. She's gonna get fucking ketchup on her gi, dude. Doesn't wash out properly. Our red pill was discovering the brow bone. Interesting. How did that affect it? Was it just like it was really easy to place things? She's so fucking mad at this burger. You know, I'm gonna have her open her mouth. She's ready to eat the burger. There you go. She's so fucking pissed off at this burger. Why'd I make her so grotesque? Why'd I draw her like that? Whatever. Alright. What time is it? I think that's it for the art stream today. Let's review the fruits of our labor. So our profile's easier. Yeah, that's something I'm fucking really bad with. Is like heads at any kind of angle. Alright, so we drew today. Can you guys see my cursor? Yeah, you can, I think. We drew Ryu. Then we drew Alex. Then we drew Teto. Then we drew Sean. Then we drew the creation of Adam. Then we drew Remy smoking a bunch of cigarettes. And then we drew Makoto. I think of these ones, the one that I probably did the best on was probably Alex. I think the Alex drawing is the one that I like the most out of these ones. But I don't know. Let me know which one you guys like the most. This was awesome. I think that I'm glad that we got a lot of suggestions this time because I like drawing just like silly little things, and you guys are all better at coming up with silly things than I am. I just draw like Ryu like 20 times. Well, I think I'm gonna call it for now. I'm gonna make the VTuber big. Click on the VTuber. Make it big. Well, thank you all for coming to the art stream. For chilling and chatting and watching and suggesting. These were some banger suggestions today, by the way. Next stream is going to be Sunday at 5 o'clock Eastern, which will be more Third Strike, because I streamed Third Strike last week, and I was like, I want to stream more Third Strike. And then next Wednesday will be another art stream, probably the same time, I think, 6 o'clock. I've had some stuff come up that ties me up until a little bit later in the day. But thank you all for coming. Keep yourself healthy and all that stuff. I love you all. Keep yourself safe. And good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever. I'm going to call it now. Farewell, everybody, and I'll see you all next stream.